Hi, Bowen. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone around the world. And thank you for joining this exciting session. My name is Prateek, and I work for Jetwing here in beautiful and sunny Sri Lanka. When one thinks of wildlife in Sri Lanka, you immediately think of the leopards and the elephants. However, today, our leading naturalist, Chaminda Jayasekara, is going to take us into the elusive world of Sri Lanka's nocturnal wildlife. Chaminda is a passionate environmentalist who is the driving force behind one of Sri Lanka's greatest examples of tourism and conservation working in tandem with each other, the Loris Conservation Project at Jetwing Vil Uyana. Over the last decade, this project has made significant conservation impact to protect the grey Slender Loris, a species that's endemic to India and Sri Lanka. The primate is an elusive nocturnal animal that can be viewed at close quarters on the property due to its pioneering conservation efforts of the hotel. Chaminda joined Jetwing Vil Uyana in 2008 as a naturalist and environmentalist, and was then promoted to assistant manager in 2017. He has a travel and tourism management degree from the Rajaratha University and a postgraduate diploma in environmental and regional development from the University of Colombo. Chaminda has been passionate about the natural world from an early age and is delighted that his hobby has now become an integral part of his work. I'm excited to introduce Chaminda to every one of y'all and all of his pictures and his camera traps. So I will now hand it over to Chaminda, who will take us through his presentation. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. Thank you. Over to you, Chaminda.
Okay, thank you, Prateek. Thank you for introducing me to the audience. Hi, to you all. So today I am going to talk about the nocturnal wildlife. This subject might not be a common topic for most of you all. So before heading to the main presentation, I'll give you a brief introduction about the location and the habitats. So Sri Lanka is one of the richest biodiversitically richest country in the world. So there are lots more things to offer for tourism industry. So basically in Sri Lanka we have 3 climatic regions: dry zone, wet zone, and intermediate zone. Today I'm going to share the information on what I experience in the dry zone area. So in tourism industry in Sri Lanka, mostly we are promoting and also we are paying more attention only on big animals. I think totally in Sri Lanka, most of the parts in the world, we are focusing only on big species. We are not paying much attention in smaller species, especially the lesser known species. So even in the Sri Lanka, also the same situation. Sri Lanka, we are mainly focusing leopard, elephant, sloth bear, and the whales. But today I'm not going to talk any of these species. I am going to talk about some smaller and lesser known species. So this is the place where I am doing all these studies. Actually, this is Jetwing Vil Uyana Hotel. So before we built the hotel, this land was a bare land. In this left-hand side photograph, you can see the bare land where we built Jetwing Vil Uyana. And the next photograph, you can see how it looks like today. Now, actually, it's a wildlife sanctuary. So initially, we did a faunal survey in 2005. And when we compare that faunal survey with 2020 results, with the most recent results. Earlier we had 12 species of mammals, and now it has increased up to 27. And bird species we had 29, and now it has increased up to 148. Butterflies 24 into 51, and the amphibians and reptiles from 3 to 44. So out of all these species, today our highlight is the nocturnal wildlife. So what is nocturnal wildlife? Nocturnal is an animal behavior characterized by being active during the night. So they are fully active during the night time only. So during the daytime, throughout the daytime, they are sleeping. And the nocturnal creatures generally have highly developed senses of hearing, smell, and specially adapted eyesight. So they have good eyesight, they have good smell, and they have good hearing. And though they are active during the night, some of these species are quite active during the daytime as well. So these are the main highlighted species, nocturnal species we recorded within Jetwing. Some of the species we recorded within Jetwing Vil Uyana property. The fishing cat, jungle cat, rusty spotted cat, Slender Loris, Eurasian Otter, ring-tailed civet, common palm civet, barn owl, brown wood owl, brown hawk owl, collared scops owl, Jern's nightjar, and the brown fish owl. So today I'm not going to talk all about these species, but I'll select few of them and I'll give you more information about those species, especially the fishing cat, Slender Loris, and the Eurasian Otter. So when we are talking about the wildcats, there are 40 species of wildcats in the world. So out of that 40 species, Sri Lanka is a home to 4 species of wildcats: leopard, fishing cat, jungle cat, rusty spotted cat. So as I mentioned earlier, in the tourism industry, we are mainly focusing only on leopard. So that is why we are traveling for various national parks to spot these leopards. But we are not considering much on the other smaller species. So in Jetwing Vil Uyana, we do 2 types of excursions, like especially to see spot these nocturnal species. One is the night walk, the other one is the night safari. Night walk, mainly we are conducting it within the hotel grounds, and the night safari, we are going out from the hotel from maximum up to 5 kilometers distance from the hotel. So within the night walk, within 1 to 1.5 hours time, we are trying to spot maximum species. Even with the night safari also, within 2 to 3 hours time, we are trying to spot the maximum species what I showed you earlier. And from 2017, we started camera trapping project. Mainly, actually, with the camera traps, our main target was wildcats and the otters. So with these camera traps, we were able to identify some of the individuals as well. And also, when the guests are joining for our excursion, they also can experience this camera trapping activities. So first, I'll talk about the fishing cat. Fishing cat is the second largest wild cat in Sri Lanka. Actually, it is considered as a small cat. Out of 4 cats in Sri Lanka, leopard is considered as a big cat, and the other all 3 considered as small cats. So the fishing cat is a small to medium-sized cat found in most of the countries in South and Southeast Asia, mainly in Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Cambodia, like that. And they have very stocky and powerful body. And when we are talking about their size is quite similar to a size of a dog. And they have black spots and line along the body. So you can see in these photographs clearly the black spots and the lines. And they have distinctive stripe running down the black back with dark spots. And also compared to the body size, their tail is quite short. And the tail has dark spots and few incomplete black rings and a black tip at the end of the tail. And they have whitish belly with some dark spots, and also they have dark spots on their legs as well. In these photographs, you can clearly see the lines and the dark spots. And with these two photographs, you can clearly see the black lines on the forehead and the back as well. In the left-hand side photograph, you can see the black lines clearly, and even here also you can see the black lines on the forehead area. In this close-up also, you can clearly see the black lines. So because of these black lines, we can differentiate this wildcat with the fishing cat with the other cats in Sri Lanka. And even here also you can see the lines clearly. And they have small rounded ears compared to the size of the head. The ears are quite small and rounded. And also you can see a cheek patch. They have a cheek patch on the cheek and also two black lines. So like every when we differentiate with the other, like sometimes people misidentified them with some species. So with these lines and cheek packs, we can differentiate with these cats with the others. And also they have this is can you see the ear? So on the top of the ear, there's a white patch. So with the right-hand side photograph, you can clearly see the white patch on the ear and also the small rounded ear and the cheek patch clearly. When we're talking about the males and females, the males are slightly bigger than the females. And the males, they look a bit aggressive, but they are not harmful for the humans. Because in some areas of the country, some people think these species might harmful for the animals. So sometimes they're trying to kill them also. But they're not harmful for human beings. And also the males mostly, like not only the males, like all male and female, they actually they are territorial. They have their own territories and also they are living solitarily. But males, most of the times, like during the mating period, they are coming to the females. Like sometimes, like even this year also, I have seen the males and females together. Sometimes over 4 or 5 weeks, they are staying together. After that, they are living separately. And when we are talking about their habitats, unlike the other wildcats in the world, these fishing cats mostly they are living close to the water because their main food is fish. So that is why they are mainly associated with the water. So their best habitats are, especially in the dry zone area, lakes, rivers, canals, streams, even the paddy fields. And also, like in this picture, you can see that this is a perfect habitat for them because near the actually this is within the hotel premises, within the Jetwing Vil Uyana hotel premises. So in this kind of habitat, so they have water as well as they have thick vegetation on the other side. So during the daytime, they can sleep there. So they can sleep properly in that thick vegetation in that area. So even during the daytime, like sometimes I mentioned earlier, they are coming like they are quite active during the daytime as well. So during the daytime, after after they are sleeping in this kind of areas, they are coming to the water. One thing is to purpose of drinking water, and the other thing is fishing. So even in this photograph, you can see a fishing in the middle. So this is a perfect habitat for them. And in this photograph, I took 10 days back. So there was a lake, smaller lake behind this area. As this is the rainy season, most of the waterholes are with water and small fish and the frogs. So this fishing cat is, it was there for a few minutes. It was trying to catch the fish there. So these are the best habitat for the fishing cats. So when we are talking about the feeding behavior, their main food is fish, but they can prey on frogs, snakes, rats, and also the nocturnal birds like night herons. Not only the nocturnal birds, like even sometimes the peacocks, jungle fowls, and also they can catch the otter cubs as well. Because recently we recorded one such incident within our hotel premises. So in this photograph I took 2 years back. Actually, in this white color thing, this was a snake. So it was eating a snake. So the photo I took this with a distance, so it was not much clear. So the snake might be the rat snake. So they can prey on snakes as well. And when we're talking about the threats, the fast becoming threat for these species are the road accidents. Not only the remote areas, sometimes even closer to the city areas as well. Because the thing is, most of the roads in dry zone are running close to paddy fields, canals, lakes, and some other wetland areas. So when like there are many occasions we find fishing cats crossing the main road for the purpose of hunting. So then they are facing these accidents. To avoid such incidents and to give more awareness to the general public and the school children and also the university students, we continuously are doing awareness programs for the nearby schools, and also with the help of Department of Wildlife Conservation and the police, we place this kind of signboards in the places where we identified the road accidents, and also we are conducting drivers awareness programs to minimize such incidents and to protect these kind of species. And also, we are running 3 conservation projects. One is for wildcats, one is for Slender Loris, and one is for Eurasian Otters. So when the guests are involving in our excursions, 1/3 of the income goes to a conservation fund. So that the conservation fund we are mainly using for this kind of educational programs and also for the other conservation activities. So with the camera traps and also the physical observations and the other photographs, we are doing individual identification. So with these individual identifications, so this is the firstly individually identified female fishing cat. We call Tisa. So Tisa is the firstly identified female fishing cat within Jetwing Vil Uyana. So here in this video, you can see that these are in 2017. Actually, then it was nearly 2 years old, female. So this was within Jetwing Vil Uyana wetland area. And with the camera traps, I was able to find a place. So this is the place where they are resting most of the times. So during the daytime, they are sleeping behind the here, and they are coming to this place for rest. Like even the midnight, and also even sometimes during the daytime, also they are coming to that place for rest. And with this video, you can see how when they are coming out from the forest in the evening. So again, they are on the same place. That's again the Tisa. Actually, from this place to our main building, to main restaurant and the main pool is nearly 20 to 25 meters distance. And this is, so with the camera traps, we were able to find another fishing cat on the same time. Actually, this was a male. So we, I think it was the boyfriend of the Tisa. So this male also, when it is visiting that area, it was using that place for resting. And with after a few days, I was able to capture a clear video during the daytime. This was at this is also 3 years back, around 4:15 in the evening. Actually, so this is the Tisa. So you can see the full body. Compared to the body, they have short legs. And also, like when we are individually identifying them, we have to analyze their spot patterns and the lines. And also, like sometimes we can analyze their facial markings and some unique markings. So even this fishing cat also had different spot pattern, but mainly this had small cut mark on one of its ears. Here you can see a small cut mark. So this is the main unique feature of the Tisa. And even here also you can see the ear with the cut mark. This is also in 2017. So this is the main identification feature of Tisa. And so with the camera traps, we were able to capture the Tisa's husband clearly. So this is a male, Tisa's husband. You can see the face. As I mentioned earlier, the face looks a bit aggressive, but again I'm mentioning they are not harmful to human beings anymore. Like they are not trying to attack, but sometimes they might catch chicken or the small the domestic cat, but they are not harmful for the human beings. So this was the male. It was coming out from the forest, and it's also staying at the same place. So when compared with the size with the Tisa, this is quite larger than the Tisa. Actually, when they're coming out from here, they're directly looking to our restaurant and the swimming pool area. Actually, on this day, one of our guests was at our main swimming pool, and he has seen this fishing cat. This was around like 3:30 in the evening. So I mentioned earlier, from here to our main building is quite close and nearly 20 to 25 meters distance. That's why we can see these cats from our main building also. And so this is the same male resting at the same place during the evening. And when they are coming out with the daylight, they are quite, they are always be alert for all the sounds and some other movements. So again, this male and that Tisa both are using the same place when they are visiting this area as a resting place. So the next, with the physical observations, photographs, and also with the camera trap footages, we could observe interesting thing in 2019. The same cat, we found it with a damaged eye. Here you can see it lost one of its eyes. The reason might be that, as I mentioned earlier, they are territorial. So like sometimes they do territorial fights. So I think the reason for this might be their territorial fight. So now the Tisa is with only one eye. Here also you can see, this is also in 2019. And this is a video clip of Tisa now with only one eye shining. And also last year May, with the camera trap footages, we found another interesting thing. So here, Tisa again, you can see the now there. That's a Tisa's kitten. We named it as Hibu. It's also female. Even with this video, this is Tisa in 2019. And the kitten is coming behind it. You can see two eyes shining. So this is Tisa's baby. And here again, the Tisa, it's smelling something. So I mentioned earlier, they are territorial. So when they are walking on their territory, if they feel urine smell, or if they found a scat, they smell it because they want to check whether there is any other fishing cats within her territory. And this is in last October. Actually, like the first few months, the babies are staying with the mother. Actually, during that period, they are learning how to catch the prey, and also like sometimes how to prevent from the predators. So this is here you can see two eye shine. So like within first few months, we can see the babies staying with the mother's closer vicinity. And this is the baby in last October. Then it was nearly 6 months old. It was quite smaller. Looking at our cameras also. So this is when it is 10 months old, Hibu. Same as her mother. Actually, it is easy to identify Hibu because one of its ears, its right ear, with two cut marks. These are right, this has left here is with only one cut mark, but the hibus, one of the ears with two cut marks. So it is easy to identify the hibu as well. Now, actually, it is fully grown and fully matured one. Now it's nearly 1.5 years old. And now the hibu also with another male. So this is the male walking, and hibu is coming behind. So this is hibu. Now that's why I mentioned it's fully matured, and now she's ready to mate. And the male walk and staying somewhere there, and he was trying to climb a tree because they are good tree climbers as well. And here again, hibu. There's a small canal close by, so most of the nights they are coming to this place as well. And this is the hibu's boyfriend. So if you can, actually this is with the sound. So if you can hear properly, you can hear their mating call. So that is the mating call, because the few minutes back, hibu was here. So that's why this male was here and it was calling to her girlfriend. So it's unusual call for a cat, but that was their mating call. Again, I'll play it. So that's their mating call. So this is hibu with her boyfriend. Actually, they were mating here, but unfortunately, one of our cameras was with low battery, so we couldn't capture that. So this is after the mating, captured only 2 seconds. So this was a fully grown fishing cat. I took this 10 days back within Jetwing Vil Uyana. And this was also taken 10 days back. And this was a daytime photograph. Even this one also a daytime photograph. Now I'll talk about the jungle cats. This is the third wildcat species in Sri Lanka called jungle cat. Actually, jungle cat is quite smaller than the fishing cat. Half of the size of a fishing cat. It looks like normal domestic cat, but the colors are like they have uniform brownish color, and they have light brown color lines on the legs as well. And also the tail is with black rings. And they have, compared to the body size, the ears are a bit larger than the fishing cats. Here you can see the tail properly. Their best habitats are the paddy fields. So within the dry zone area, there are plenty of paddy fields. So like here, within 2 hours maximum, I have seen 14 jungle cats within 2 to 3 kilometers from the hotel area. So the jungle cat population is unbelievable in this area. So this is another jungle cat in a paddy field. I mentioned earlier, the perfect habitat is the paddy field because there are many rats and some other small insects and rodents, so they can prey on those species. So this is again the jungle cat. This one took a few weeks back in an abundant paddy field. And this is a video clip of jungle cat within Jetwing Vil Uyana hotel premises. Here, actually, you can see compared with the head size, the ears are quite large than the fishing cats. And this is called rusty spotted cat. This is the 4th cat in Sri Lanka, and this is very unique one because the thing is we can see them only in Sri Lanka, India, and Nepal. And this is the smallest wildcat species in the world. And also, this is the rarest wildcat in Sri Lanka. So, though we have a chance to spot the other 2 smaller cats, this is quite difficult to spot them, but they're in Sri Lanka. And their size is like a small kitten. They have like reddish brown color with some lines. Actually, these 2 photographs only I have, that's why I put these 2, otherwise I'll put more. And next I'll move to the Slender Loris. As Pratik mentioned earlier, we have a conservation site here. Now we are doing that conservation over a decade period. So firstly, we found the loris within Jetwing Vil Uyana grounds on 20th October 2010, 10 years back. During that time, we had a plan to build another 6 dwellings in that forest area. But after we found the loris, we decided to cancel that project, and now we are protecting that area as a conservation site. So we opened a Loris Information Center there, and also in 2014 we started the Loris Conservation Fund, and we published a book about the loris in Sinhala and English languages in 2014 and 2018. And also at up to date, I have done over 1,500 nights to observe these species within Jetwing Vil Uyana, and also more than 6,000 guests have taken the trail during the last 10 years period. And the loris, we call them Slender Loris. They are living only in India and Sri Lanka. So in Sri Lanka, there are mainly 2 species with a few subspecies. In Sri Lanka, we have red Slender Loris and grey Slender Loris. So today I'm going to talk about the northern grey Slender Loris because this is the species that they are in dry zone area. So when we are talking about the characteristics, their weight is less than 300 grams and their size is nearly 8 inches. So they are quite small animals, and they do not have a tail. So they, without tail, like they cannot, like when they are moving one tree to another tree, they cannot jump because without the tail, they cannot balance. So normally they are moving slowly, but there are times that they are moving really fast. And they have long limbs and arms. And they have very slender body. And with these 3 photographs, the first one you can see a leg, and the middle one you can see the hand. They have 5 fingers like us. And also the third photograph, you can see both leg and hand, but there you can see one fingernail. So one of the leg has like their legs, one of the fingers has a fingernail. They use it when they are scratching, they use that fingernail. And compared to the body size, I mentioned earlier, they are quite small, but compared to the body size, the head is quite large. And the eyes are also large, ears are also large, because as they're nocturnal, they have good hearing, they have good eyesight. So they have large rounded ears and eyes. So when during the night time, when they're doing the excursions, we use red light to spot them, because when we use a red light, the eyes reflecting back with bright red color, because the thing is they have a special layer in their eye called tapetum. So that tapetum layer reflects for the red light. So that is how we spot them. And when we are talking about the males and females, the males are slightly smaller than the females, and also if we can see them closely, we can clearly see the testes. So, but same as the wildcats, they are also living separately. They are living solitarily. Only the mating time they are coming together. And as they are territorial, when they are moving from one area to other area, they are marking their territory by using urine. So here, this is how they mark their urine. We call it scent marking to mark their territory. So the size of the territory completely depend on the food availability. So, but sometimes from one place to another place, the distance might be 800 meters per night. So that depends on the food availability. And there's another interesting behavior. Here you can see in this picture, we call it urine wash, which means they rub urine all over their hands, feet, and the face. That is also, that's interesting behavior actually. Most of the times they are following that. That is also to demarcate their territory. So when they are moving, like every 2 to 3 meters, they mark the urine on the branches. And as they're territorial, sometimes both male and female, they all have their territories. So sometimes when they all have their territories, when they meet, they fight. We call them territorial fight. So the result and the end result, sometimes these territorial fights ended up with the injured like this. So this is injured loris after a territorial fight. And as they're nocturnal, They sleep throughout the daytime. They are sleeping. Though the wildcats are active during the day, loris they do not active during the day. But sometimes they change their sleeping tree branch. So they are moving nearly 1 to 2 meters distance. That's it. But they are not active during the day. So when they're sleeping, mostly they are sleeping solitarily like this. On the left-hand side, you can see they're sleeping solitarily. The right-hand side picture, it's sleeping as a couple, male and female together. And here, sleeping as a family, here with the female with twin babies. And the right-hand side picture, sleeping, it's also as a family, male, female, and twin babies. So this is the maximum I have seen in a sleeping place. 4. And when they are talking about, their feeding behavior, they are omnivorous actually, but mainly around 70 to 75% they feed on insects. So here in the left side photograph, you can see eating a damselfly, and the right hand side one eating a moth. And these two photographs are quite rare one actually. The left hand side one is eating a green forest lizard. Actually, when it was eating this, there were 2 babies under the belly. So then the babies were around 6 or 7 days old. So even with the babies also, they were trying to catch that kind of prey during the night time. And the right hand side photograph, one eating a sunbird. So like when the birds are roosting, especially the smaller bird like sunbirds, prinias, and also tailor birds, they can catch those kind of smaller birds. And here eating a praying mantis, and also the right hand side photograph, you can see eating a caterpillar. And here on the left hand side, you can see one eating a jam fruit, and the right hand side one eating flowers. Also sometimes when the insects are on these flowers, they're trying to catch the insects on those flowers as well. And another rare photograph eating centipede. And this is the mating behavior and the social play. So when they are mating also, they are following the same, and sometimes they are spending 15 to 30 meters, 15 to 30 minutes in this position. And also, like, actually this is very rare to observe, mostly in the evening around like 6:30 to 7:30, and also sometimes in the early morning like 4:30 to 5:30, we can see this behavior sometimes. And when we are talking about the reproduction and protecting the young, the mating season is from November to January. This is the mating season. Because I have seen the babies from mid-March up to end of June. Because the gestation period is around 5.5 months time. So this is the mating season. In this photograph, you can see a pregnant loris. Actually, when I was taking this photograph, this was 6 days before the birth, and the same loris after 6 days of the birth. Now it's with twin babies. So normally they are having one baby, rarely twins, but within our grounds we had 5 sets of twins during last 10 years period. So when they have the babies, the mother carry the young under the belly, same as the photograph. And also there are times that they are taking them on back also. So this is when they are taking on their back. And then the same babies. And now when I was taking this photograph, they were around 1 month old. And when they are like first 30 to 35 days, within first 30 to 35 days, the babies are staying with the mother. They are carrying the baby like this. After that, they keep the baby on a tree branch, and they are going to find food. Again, the mother loris coming back to the baby in next day morning. So throughout the night time, the babies are staying alone on a tree branch. So during that period, they are trying to catch small insects, and like they are trying to demarcate their territory. So that is the time that they are learning to survive. And also, we call that behavior baby parking. So I mentioned earlier, they are territorial, they are living solitarily, but sometimes we can see the male and female together. Even when they have the babies also, we can first few days, we can see the males are staying with the female. In this photograph, the behind one is a male and the female with the baby. So sometimes the males are staying with, but not throughout the night time. For a few minutes, they're staying with the female, and again they're separating. And this is a major threat for the loris in Sri Lanka, electrocution, because this kind of electric wires are quite close to forest areas in some areas. Actually, these two photographs are taken, one, the left-hand side one taken close to Vilpattu National Park area, and the right-hand side one taken in Polonnaruwa. So this is the biggest threat for these slender lorises. This is also electrocuted one. And they have natural predators. The eagles and owls are the main natural predators. Actually, these two photographs are taken by Mr. Namal Kamal at Vilpattu National Park. And this is photographed by Mr. Kamal Naufu at Vilpattu National Park. Again, the changeable hawk eagle eating loris. And during last 10 years, we worked with National Geographic Channel and the BBC Channel. In 2014, NatGeo, they filmed the loris with us for their Wild Sri Lanka NatGeo series. And also the BBC, they stayed here last year to film the loris for their primate series. Actually, they released this primates documentary in last May. And also you can watch that clip, the second episode called Family Matters. You can see our slender loris with the babies. And as we are running the conservation project, we are doing many awareness programs for the school children and also some foreign students. And also with the conservation fund, recently we opened a community wildlife education center and a library at the village temple, because our objective was to educate the villagers on these kind of lesser known species. And also we published few books. So we donated those books for school libraries. And this is this photograph here with the team of National Geographic filming crew. And this is while we filming for BBC channel. And here a small video clip on the slender loris. Actually here, if you can see clearly, there are two babies hanging under the belly. So that is how they take the babies. Eyes are shining. So there you can see how they, that is called urine wash. So normally when they are moving like this, they are moving quite slowly. Especially when they are taking the babies, they are moving quite slowly. There you can caught something and eat. So now you can clearly see the twin babies. These babies are nearly like less than 10 days old. That's how they're eating the insects. Now I'll talk about the Eurasian otters. So in Sri Lanka, we have only one species called Eurasian otter. In the world, there are 13 species. But in Sri Lanka, we have only one. But we can see the Eurasian otters in dry zone as well as in the wet zone as well. Especially one of the well-known places is the Horton Place. That is the coolest area in the country. Even the same species can live in the coolest area as well as in the driest area in the country as well. So, but the thing is, this is one of the neglected and lesser known species, because most of the people, most of the Sri Lankan people are unaware of the existence of the otters in Sri Lanka. So sometimes, because the thing is, because their shape looks like mongoose. So sometimes some people misidentify them as mongoose. And when we are talking about the habitats, they are also living in water and sometimes on the land as well. But the perfect habitats are paddy fields, ponds, marshlands, and some canals. But they are not living in deep water areas. So these kind of these photograph, like this photograph, these are the best habitats for them. And they have quite long body, and compared to the body size, the tail also quite long. And most of the times they are spending time in the water to catch fish and the freshwater crabs. And here in this photograph, you can see with the first photograph, you can see one eating a fish. Even the second one also eating a fish, and third one, actually there were two here, with a some big fish here, but it was a dead fish. But in Sri Lanka, according to my observations, in the wild, when they found any dead fish, they are not feed on that. They are feed on only the live fish. And also, when they check their skeleton, we can clearly see the small pieces of freshwater crabs and also the fish scales. So their favorite food is freshwater crabs and the fish. That's why most of the times, like they're spending more time in the paddy fields also, because the paddy fields are well-known places for the freshwater crabs. So they are, even these days also, even last night also, we spotted otter in our paddy field area. And when they have the babies, the babies are staying with the mothers nearly 12 to 14 months time. Actually, first up to 5 to 6 months, they are learning to swim, learning to catch fish, and also during that period they are selecting their own territories. So this is mother otter taking her babies. And same as the other wildcats, for the otters also the same situation. The biggest threat is the road accidents. So I took this photograph in Polonnaruwa. You can watch some videos. So here, this otter was trying to find a fish or freshwater crabs under this small rock piece. Yeah, it got a freshwater crab. So that's their favorite food. Again, it's trying to find. Here, the mother otter teaching her babies to catch the fish and to swim. So there you can see the two babies are walking right behind the mother. So that is how they learning to swim. And they are also territorial. So this is here they are marking the territory. Let's went back again, coming back to that place, smelling, marking the territory, and going back. And this video, you can see the date here. It's on 18:41 a.m. early morning, actually this morning. This is the latest video clip what we have. And now I'll talk about another two nocturnal species, one called ring-tailed civet and the other one called common palm civet. In Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka is home for three civet species, ring-tailed civet, common palm civet, and golden palm civet. But in this area, we can see these two. The ring-tailed civet, as the name, you can clearly see the rings on the tail and the body. Sometimes, actually, some people misidentify when they see the body color. Sometimes they misidentify them with the fishing cats, because the fur color and the spot pattern are also somewhat similar to the fishing cat, but the clear differences. This is much smaller than the fishing cat, and also the face and the other features also quite different. And this is another ring-tailed civet in a farmland. Again, the ring-tailed civet. And another video clip. Actually, this was under one of our marsh dwelling, because during the night time, the civets, fishing cats, jungle cats, they are walking under those room categories. And this one was on 15 December, 3 days back. There was a ringtail or ringtail civet family, 2 adults and 1 baby. This was in the evening, 6:42 in the evening. And this is common palm civet. Actually, here it was taking her baby from one place to another place. The ringtail civet, mostly we can see them on the ground, and these common palm civet, mostly we can see them on the trees, as well as sometimes even the house on the ceilings also we can see these species. Again with the baby. And this is a video clip of the common palm civet. Check in our camera as well. And now I'll move into the nocturnal birds. So this is one of the common owl in Sri Lanka. We call brown fish owl. Brown fish owls mostly, actually, as they name, they are mainly feed on fish, but they can catch some other small animals as well. They can prey on loris also. This is one of the biggest threat for the loris. They are a natural predator. So these kind of brown fish owls, mostly we can see close to the lakes, canals, rivers, and also on the paddy fields also. And the next slide, you can see a video clip of owl. Actually here, if you can see clearly, now it's going to eat a snake. It was taking a snake because they can feed on snakes as well. Here, you can see it's eating a snake. It's not a clear video, but here you can see it's eating a snake. And this is called forest eagle owl. Some people call them devil bird. This is the rarest owl species in Sri Lanka and the largest owl species. Most of the days around Sigiriya Rock area, sometimes there's a road behind Sigiriya Rock. Some nights we can spot this species even in Singharaja rainforest area also, but this is one of the rarest owl species in Sri Lanka. And this is also, this is one of the nice owls because of the colors. Even when you are doing the photography also, it's quite easy because of the colors. Mostly they are living close to the lakes. We call them barn owl. And when we are traveling to Polonnaruwa, there's a within the archaeological city also, sometimes even during the daytime also we can see one of them. And this is one of the smallest owl in Sri Lanka, called collared scops owl. Even sometimes actually, like few years back, one collared scops owl was nested in our main restaurant also. Sometimes even during the night time, you can see them on our main restaurant as well. And this is called brown hawk owl. It's not a common one, but within the dry zone area, especially within when we are doing our night safaris, we can see this nocturnal bird. So this is called brown wood owl. It's another not much common, but within dry zone area we can spot this species. And this is called Jordan's nightjar. Actually, if you can see clearly, you can see the nightjar is with its chick. And another nocturnal mammal, porcupine. There are 2 porcupines walking in front of our camera. And another mammal called mouse deer. Another small mammal species. This is quite interesting video. So at Jetwing Vil Uyana, we have 2 smaller lakes. So we have a crocodile, but it's not staying there throughout the year. Sometimes, like these days, we have only one. Sometimes another 2, 3 crocodiles are coming, especially during the dry period. So when they are crossing from our lake to when they are moving to the village lake, they are using a small path during the night to reach to a canal. So this is when it was moving, when it was walking from our lake to the village lake. It was quite interesting video. So that's the end of my presentation. So I think you might learn something from this within this few minutes period. And also when you're planning your tours to Sri Lanka, you can join with us. You can join with Jetwing Travels to design your tours, and also you can stay with Jetwing Hotels to experience all these nocturnal species. And also even the people who are joining from Sri Lanka, you can visit anytime. And also when you are visiting Sri Lanka and when you are visiting CBA, when you are visiting Vil Uyana, you can meet me and you can talk about, we can discuss about these species. I can share many interesting stories. I can show you all these videos, photos with you. So looking forward to welcome you all to Sri Lanka and also for Jetwing. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. Pratik, now it's time to you. If there's any question, I am ready to answer.
Thank you so much, Chaminda. That was so interesting and fascinating to learn about so many of these animals that are walking around in the night that we didn't, that you don't really think about. We've got a few questions. I think you already answered. One was, will they get to meet you if they come to Jetwing Vil Uyana? So I think that's a definite yes. Chaminda will be there. Chaminda, we have another question. I think this was related to the loris. How easy is it in practice to see the loris?
Honestly, I can say we have 95% success rate when we are doing the night walk. If it is not a rainy day, I'll keep 5%.
That's great. Another question we have is about the fishing cats. And someone asked, is their mating behavior similar to the leopards, with the couple staying together for a few days and mating regularly during that time? And then do fishing and jungle cats mate with domestic cats?
Yes, jungle cat can mate with domestic cat, but not the fishing cat. And the fishing cats, their mating behavior is quite similar to the leopards. So during that period, actually here also, during last August, September, that Hibu and her boyfriend was together most of the days. And also when they're mating also, they're quite similar as the leopards.
And so when would be the best time to visit this area? Best time of the year?
Actually, any time of the year is best for most of these species, but honestly, the dry period, we have more chances. But even this is the rainy period. November to April is the rainy period, but even last few days also we spotted loris, otters, fishing cats, jungle cats. But the dry period, the thing is, the water level of our lake and also most of the lakes in this area, water level goes low. So then it's easy to spot. So that's why I mentioned the dry period specifically.
There's a question about the civets. Do they belong to the cat family?
No, they are not cat family.
Okay. And I think one last question we have is, how long does a night tour take with you?
Night walk actually around maximum 1.5 hours time. The night safari up to 3 hours, but I am not strict into these times. If anyone interested to spend more time, I am always ready to spend more time, because I have sometimes I have spent over 3-4 hours during the night walk also. So if anyone interested to spend more time, I am always happy to stay with them.
Okay, thank you so much, Chaminda. I think we have quite a few questions. We might not be able to answer all of them, but we might send out an email with some of these answers. Thank you, everybody, for joining. You'll also receive an email asking for some feedback. So please do give us your feedback, and then look out for our next webinar where we cover something else that's interesting about Sri Lanka. Okay, so thank you, everybody, and have a good day. Bye-bye.